No one is prepared for what I'm about to show you today. At the AMAs, Jungkook ignored protocol just to wait for Jimin. That kind of attention isn't given to just anyone, it's given to someone special. What's more, if you look at the Are You Sure series, they're recreating exact scenes from the anime Cyberpunk as if it were their private language. Also, it's suspicious that Jungkook changed his Instagram profile picture to the protagonist of Cyberpunk right after a conversation with Jimin. Finally, the way Jimin looks at him with such tenderness confirms that this love doesn't need words. Just seeing how he looks at him is enough to know that they're meant for each other. Stay tuned because this isn't just a coincidence. We now have the behind-the-scenes footage from the 2026 American Music Awards, and what happened is quite clear for those of us who follow Jikook. While the other BTS members rushed off to prepare the stage, Jungkook decided to stay behind, motionless. He waited there until Jimin finished what he was doing so they could leave together. It was a very clear gesture that, for Jungkook, the most important thing at that moment was waiting for Jimin. This interaction demonstrates how much they care for each other and how attentive they are to one another at all times. It's not surprising to see their chemistry so natural, because they're always looking to be close and aware of what the other is doing. That affection they have for each other makes any interaction, no matter how small, seem very sweet and special. It's a very clear sign of how their relationship works, where the priority is always being there for each other. Jungkook and Jimin have a very comfortable energy when they're together, and that's evident in this video. Seeing them interact like this, we understand why we love watching them so much, since the way they treat each other is so natural and affectionate. They don't need to do much to show their connection, and seeing these kinds of moments confirms how well they get along as a couple. It's simply adorable to see how they care for each other every day. Something that has caught the attention of many people in the show Jimin and Jungkook did, called Are You Sure? In several episodes, there are scenes where they act almost exactly like the events in the anime Cyberpunk, Edge Runners. It's incredible to see how Jimin and Jungkook imitate those moments from the anime with such detail, making them look truly beautiful. It's clear evidence of the shared interests they have when they're together. Many people have noticed that these moments don't seem accidental, but rather something they do because they surely watched that anime together. When we see Jikook imitating those parts, it's clear they have a very sweet dynamic as a couple, sharing their favorite series. These are signs that we, as fans, notice because we know how well they get along and how much they enjoy spending time doing things they both like. All of this shows that their relationship is very real and full of moments where only the two of them matter. By imitating the scenes from Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, they give us another sign of how close they are and how much fun they have sharing their personal interests. It's exciting to see these interactions in the series, because they confirm, in a simple and direct way, that Jimin and Jungkook always look for ways to share their passions and always be on the same page. 6 years ago, we experienced a moment that Jikook fans will never forget, that livestream where Jimin and Jungkook cooked together on camera. From the very beginning, the energy between them was impossible to ignore. They moved around the kitchen in a chaotic and fun way, and above all, they were incredibly close to each other the entire time. It was very obvious how well they got along and how much they enjoyed each other while trying to prepare something to eat, amidst laughter and playful banter that made the whole atmosphere feel much more personal. What made that live stream so memorable was the constant physical closeness they displayed, even giving us a near kiss that left us all stunned. They looked so cute and romantic while cooking together, and it was so clear that they were deeply in love that they didn't need to say a single word to show it. Seeing that real, fun, and affectionate connection between them was something we all loved at that moment, because it was obvious that they weren't putting on an act for anyone but themselves. It's been almost 6 years since that live stream, but the memory remains vivid in our minds as one of Jikook's most beautiful and significant moments. We loved them back then for how natural they were, and honestly, seeing them now, we love them even more, recognizing how strong their bond has always been. It's a well-known fact that Jungkook deeply loves the anime Cyberpunk, Edge Runners and its entire soundtrack, to the point that he changed his Instagram profile picture to that of David Martinez, the protagonist. This strong affinity isn't just a passing fancy, but a fundamental part of what he thinks and chooses to show the world. The most interesting thing about all this is remembering that conversation where Jungkook saw Jimin admiring the view and, without missing a beat, shared his enthusiasm for the anime, showing that it was on his mind at that very moment. This is a very particular and special way that Jimin and Jungkook connect with each other. Sometimes they have conversations that at first glance seem normal or everyday, but which take on a much deeper meaning when we notice how they influence each other days later. When Jungkook takes the time to talk to Jimin about his personal interests, like this anime that he's so passionate about, they're showing us a facet of their relationship where communication and shared tastes are the invisible bridge that keeps them connected, no matter where they are. These kinds of details are very clear signs of how their relationship truly functions in their daily lives. They share their thoughts, reveal their passions, and find unique ways to connect in their conversations, even when discussing seemingly simple topics. Jungkook choosing to share his excitement for cyberpunk with Jimin is a direct indication of how important they are to each other and how their personal interests intertwine to create their own unique story. It's further confirmation that Jikook always finds a way to share their worlds, remaining close at all times. There's something truly special and unique about the way Jimin looks at Jungkook. Sometimes, a single glance is enough to perceive a warmth that words can't fully express. When Jimin fixes his gaze on him and that gentle smile appears on his face, the atmosphere completely shifts, and everything seems to light up. It's a clear sign of his feelings, a gesture that allows us to understand the profound connection they share without them saying a word. That gaze reflects complete attention, where Jimin seems to lose himself in Jungkook, revealing that for him, no one else exists in the room, as if the rest of the world disappears when their eyes meet. What makes these moments so remarkable is how natural they appear. Jimin doesn't try to hide what he projects when he looks at Jungkook, it simply happens calmly and effortlessly. The sweet way Jimin smiles while observing him has a charm that captivates everyone, as if his eyes and smile express a happiness that needs no explanation. It's clear that, for Jimin, Jungkook is the center of attention in those moments, which confirms the strength of their bond. It's a unique language they've both built over the years, and one that we, as fans who observe them closely, can clearly identify in their daily gestures. It's proof of a total trust that only develops when two people know each other better than anyone else. Perhaps that's why the moments they share together are so captivating for us. It's not just about the laughter or the memories they create in front of the cameras, but about those small moments where their glances and smiles alone are enough to say so much. Sometimes, the most important things are found in the simplest gestures, and the way Jimin looks at Jungkook, with that characteristic smile, feels like one of those warm memories that stays with you. It's direct proof that their relationship is full of details that only they share, and that we are lucky enough to witness every time the lens captures them in that state of silent connection, where words are unnecessary because the visual connection says it all. Even in calm moments, it's clear that Jimin's gaze acts as an anchor for Jungkook. It's an invisible yet powerful form of communication, a reminder that they always have a safe place to return to when they look into each other's eyes. Observing this pattern of behavior confirms that their relationship has been nurtured by every shared experience, transforming into something far more solid than anyone outside their dynamic could imagine. Every time Jimin directs the tender gaze toward Jungkook, it reaffirms that they are a couple who have learned to read each other perfectly, making every encounter a clear sign that their bond is, above all, a daily and shared choice. There are people who simply represent a brand, while others manage to merge with it in a way that becomes part of their own identity, and Jimin does precisely that every time he appears before the cameras. There is something so distinctive and impossible to imitate about him that he immediately stands out wherever he is. From the smallest details in his clothing, like the perfect fit of his shirt, to the precise way he fixes his gaze directly on the lens, everything about him seems to scream Jimin with impressive clarity. It's an essence that needs no introduction or explanation, because his physical presence speaks for itself, displaying a beauty, elegance, and natural charm that are uncommon in the entertainment world. What's most remarkable about all of this is that nothing about him feels forced or calculated. It's simply a natural and fluid part of who he is as a person. That unmistakable sensuality, along with his meticulously crafted personal style, creates a blend that feels completely genuine to those of us who have the pleasure of observing him constantly. When we see Jimin, we're not just seeing someone with a beautiful face, we can truly sense a distinct aura, one that carries its own light and sets him apart from others. It's this unique style, this way of moving and existing, that makes Jimin such a captivating figure for all of us, as his authenticity remains intact, steadfast, and radiant, no matter how much time passes or how many cameras follow him during his daily activities. This impact Jimin generates isn't something that can be easily explained with technical terms, rather, it's a kind of profound beauty that simply leaves an indelible mark on our minds and hearts. As fans who follow his career closely, we can see that this confidence he projects is, in reality, the same self-assurance that makes him shine so brightly when he's with Jungkook. That defined and strong personality that Jimin demonstrates is, in essence, a very clear indication of why his relationship with Jungkook works so well. Both possess such high levels of self-confidence that, when they come together and share spaces, they create a special and powerful dynamic that we love to observe, analyze, and support as a real couple. Finally, it's crucial to understand that this way of being of Jimin not only helps him excel professionally but also strengthens his ability to connect genuinely with those around him, especially with Jungkook. Every gesture, every glance, every smile, and every style choice are small pieces of a puzzle that reveal him as someone who is always authentic, someone who doesn't try to be anyone other than himself. For those of us who follow their story, this inner light is what makes every moment they share so special and worthy of attention. Seeing Jimin and Jungkook alone, their backs to the camera, evokes a profound feeling that's difficult to describe, yet one that all of us who follow them can clearly sense. It's as if the distance between them vanished long ago. The way they sit side by side is so natural that they no longer appear as two separate individuals. Visually, they seem like two different expressions of the same feeling, a unity that's evident even when they're not facing the camera. This closeness isn't accidental, it's the visual representation of a connection that has grown steadily and remains steadfast regardless of external circumstances, confirming that their bond doesn't depend on what happens around them, but rather on their unwavering decision to stay together. They sit so close they could almost touch, leaving not even a millimeter of space between them, and this image resonates deeply within the viewer as the purest proof of a silent but incredibly powerful connection. Seeing them like this is like witnessing a scene that constantly reminds us that, for them, loneliness doesn't exist because they always have each other as their point of reference. It's as if, in that instant, the whole world gently recedes, allowing only the two of them to flow in the same direction, synchronizing their steps and energy, as if time itself stops to allow them peace. It's a state of harmony where they don't need to speak to communicate, simply being, existing, and sharing the same space is enough to reaffirm that they are an inseparable team. There's no trace of haste or discomfort, only a gentle closeness and shared tranquility that they both seem to value above all else. The specific moment when their heads almost touch makes this feeling much more vivid for us, revealing a harmony that manifests itself even in the smallest, most everyday gestures. This image, seen from behind, confirms that their relationship is based on the comfort of being together, a clear sign that they have built their own space where they don't need to perform for anyone, simply being each other's constant support. Every detail of their posture, from the way they tilt their shoulders to how they face the same point, demonstrates a synchronicity that is, in essence, proof that they know each other perfectly. These kinds of moments, where they seem to be in their own little world, serve as a reminder that their relationship is much more than a friendship shared in public, it's a bond they have nurtured over time. The way they ignore the outside bustle to focus solely on each other's presence is the ultimate sign that they have found their refuge in one another. Watching this scene, it becomes clear that for them, the barriers that others might perceive simply don't exist, as their ability to create a sanctuary amidst the crowd is what makes them so unique. It's a reminder that what they have isn't something that can be forced, but something born of complete trust, allowing us to see the reality of their connection through the simplicity of a gesture as basic as sitting together, without saying a single word.